Hey everybody, I'm doing this video today for a student of CFI Trucking School. This is to help everybody that's having trouble reading along with the manual, or if you just want something to listen to so you can still study. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off. Turn to page 4 in your manual. If you're not able to get to your book right now and you're just listening to this, that's fine as well. So, first thing we're going to do is LMD is loose, missing, or damaged. CBB is cracked, bent, or broken. And NB is nuts and bolts. We're going to go ahead and start with the outside pre-trip inspection. Number 1, exhaust system. Muffler, heat shield, pipe leading engine. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Mounted securely to truck with no missing nuts or bolts. Not leaking, soot, or exhaust. Pipe has no rust or soot buildup. Number 2, fuel tank. Tank, straps, gasket, cap with rubber seal, fuel lines. None are loose, missing, or damaged. Fuel tank is not dented or leaking. Tank and strap secure to frame with no missing nuts or bolts. Straps are centered on gaskets. Gaskets are not dry rotted. Fuel cap is tight and rubber seal is not dry rotted. Fuel line is tight, not cracked, not leaking. 3, steps. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Mounted securely with no missing nuts or bolts. No debris, clear of objects. Number 4, leaks. We're going to look for puddles under the engine. You have to remember head plus P. H, hydraulic fluid. E, engine oil. A, antifreeze. D, diesel fuel. P, power steering fluid. At this point, we're going to go ahead and open up the hood. Now remember, you're going to place 2 hands on top, 1 foot up to safely open the hood. We're going to move to number 5, oil dipstick. You have your dipstick and your tube. You're going to explain how to check the oil level. First, you're going to pull out the dipstick and wipe it off. Put the dipstick back in, pull it back out. Check to make sure it's above the refill mark within a safe operating range. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not bent, and secured to the engine. 6, water pump. Not loose, missing, or damaged, operating properly. Mounted securely to engine with no missing nuts or bolts. Not leaking, gear driven. 7, water pump hoses. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not dry rotted, not leaking, clamps are in place and tight. Number 8, alternator. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not cracked, bent, or broken. Operating properly, mounted securely to engine with no missing nuts or bolts. Number 9, electrical lines. Not loose, missing, or damaged, no exposed wires, not frayed, spliced, corroded, chafed, or worn. Number 10, alternator and fan belt. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not frayed or dry rotted, no cracks. Less than 3/4 of play from the middle. You must demonstrate. Number 11, coolant reservoir. Not loose, missing, or damaged, mounted securely with no missing nuts or bolts, not leaking, has room at top for expansion. Do not remove cap while hot. At this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move over to the driver's side of the vehicle. Number 12, air compressor. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not cracked, bent, or broken, operating properly. Mounted securely to engine with no missing nuts or bolts. Not leaking, gear driven. 13, air compressor hoses. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Not frayed or dry rotted. Not leaking. These can also be checked the same as the water pump hoses on the other side. Please see number 7 on page 3. Number 14, power steering fluid reservoir. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Not leaking, dipstick on top to check level, within safe operating range. Mounted securely to the truck with no missing nuts or bolts. Remember, on this side, you do not actually have to check the dipstick. Number 15, power steering hoses. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not leaking, not dry rotted or frayed. Number 16, power steering pump. Not loose, missing, or damaged, operating properly, mounted securely to engine with no missing nuts or bolts, not leaking, it is gear driven. 17, frame of truck, from front to rear. not loose, missing, or damaged. No illegal welds or unmanufactured holes. Not cracked or bent. No broken welds. Number 18, suspension system. You have your spring mounts, your leaf spring, U-bolts, shock absorber, spring hinge. None are loose, missing, or damaged. Spring mounts are mounted securely to the frame with no missing nuts or bolts. Not cracked, bent, or broken. Springs are not cracked, bent, or broken, not shifted or misaligned, none missing, and same on both sides. U-bolts secured with no missing nuts. Shock absorber not leaking and mounted securely to the frame with no missing nuts or bolts. Rubber bushing is in place and not dry rotted. Spring hinge fully greased. Number 19, steering system. Steering shaft, U-joints, power steering gearbox, pitman arm, drag link, steering ring knuckle, spindle, steering arm, tie rod. None are loose, missing, or damaged. None are cracked, bent, or broken. Joints not worn. All are connected to each other with no missing nuts or bolts. U-joints are free of debris, fully greased. PS gearbox mounted securely to the frame with no missing nuts or bolts, not leaking. No missing castle nuts or cotter pins. Rubber boots, not dry rotted. Number 20, air brake system. Air brake chamber, chamber hoses, push rod, slack adjuster, lining and drums, brackets, coupling. None are loose, missing, or damaged. Your air brake chamber is mounted securely to the brackets with no missing nuts or bolts. Not dented, not leaking. Chamber hose, not cracked, worn, or leaking. Couplings, not worn. Push rod is not bent, and your slack adjuster has less than 1 inch of play when brakes released. Must be corrected by a certified mechanic if it is. Your linings are not worn dangerously thin. Drums are free of grease and oil. No cracks or illegal welds. No dents, holes, or missing nuts and bolts. 21A, tires and rims. You have your rim, bead, side and top of tire, inside and outside of tire, valve stem, lug nuts. None are loose, missing, or damaged. The rim has no illegal welds, no cracks, no bends. Bead is sealed and not leaking. Side of tire has no cuts, cords, gouges, bulges, no spider webs, or dry rotted. No mismatched tires, no retreads, no uneven wear, and at least 4/32 of tread. Each lug nut is tight, no rust trails or metal shavings that would indicate looseness. Lug nuts not cracked or distorted. Much must touch each lug nut. Valve stems metal and pointed away from the tire, not leaking, not broken or damaged, and the tire is inflated to 95 to 105 psi. Please check with the tire gauge inside the vehicle. 21B, hub and seal, not loose, missing, or damaged. No missing nuts or bolts, full of grease, not leaking. Number 22, your mirrors on driver door. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Mounted securely to the door with no missing nuts or bolts. Clean, not cracked. Brackets, not damaged. Number 23, door. Opens and closes from outside. Your hinges are greased and secured with no missing nuts or bolts. Weather sills intact. ABC rated fire extinguisher. Fully charged, needle in the green. Number 25, steps on battery box, steps on fuel tank, and your catwalk can all be checked the same as the steps on the other side of the vehicle. Be prepared to give details again. See number 3 on page 3. 26, fuel tank, tank, straps, gasket, cap and seal, fuel lines, all can be checked same as other side. Once again, be prepared to give details. Please see number 2 on page 3. Back of truck. 27, airlines and electrical lines. Blue line, service line. Red, emergency line. Green, electrical line. 27A, airlines. Not loose, missing, or damaged, tight to fit on truck and not leaking. Airlines and couplings are not cracked, chafed, or worn. Secure on glad hands and not leaking. Locked in place, rubber seal not dry rotted. Glad hands not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. 27B, electrical lines. Not loose, missing, or damaged, not frayed, spliced, corroded, or dry rotted. No exposed wires. Electrical line plugged in securely on both ends. Lines are not dangling, have slack for turning, not tangled, pinched, or dragging on catwalk. 28. Drive line. Front and rear universal joints. Front, rear locking tabs, drive shaft, couplings. None are loose, missing, or damaged. U-joints and couplings are free of debris, fully greased, and not leaking. Locking tabs in place with no missing nuts or bolts. Drive shaft is not cracked, bent, or broken. 29. Fifth wheel assembly. Apron, kingpin, locking jaw, skid plate, platform pivot pin, release arm. None are loose, missing, or damaged, or cracked, bent, or broken. Apron is mounted securely to the bottom of trailer with no unmanufactured holes or illegal welds. Kingpin mounted securely to apron, not bent. Locking jaw secure around kingpin. Skid plate mounted securely to platform with no missing nuts or bolts or pins. Skid plate fully greased, sloping down. No daylight between skid plate and apron. Fifth wheel position so landing gear does not hit frame while turning. Sliding fifth wheel, if equipped, is locked in place. Platform pivot pin in place, not loose. Release arm is locked in the lock position and works properly. You do not have to demonstrate the release arm. Has no missing brackets or nuts and bolts. Number 30. Rear air brake system. Air brake chamber. Chamber hose. Push rod. Slack adjuster. Lining. Drums. Bracket. And coupling can all be checked the same as the front of the tractor. Please see number 20 on page 5. Rear suspension of tractor. You have your spring mounts, leaf springs, U-bolts, shock absorber. Can all be checked the same as the front of the tractor. Please see number 18 on page 5. Exceptions. There are no spring hinge. Instead, you have an overload spring and an airbag. Your overload spring, not loose, missing, or damaged, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted securely to truck with no missing nuts or bolts. Rubber bushing in place and not dry rotted. Airbag, not loose, missing, or damaged. Mounted securely to frame with no missing nuts or bolts. Not leaking, not dry rotted. 32A. Tires on rear of tractor. Your rim, your bead, side, top, inside, outside of both of your tires, and bud rims, lug nuts, valve stems, can all be checked the same as the front of the tractor. See number 20 on page 5. Must touch each lug nut. Rear can have retreads, which makes it 230 seconds instead of 430 seconds. Tires not rubbing, no daylight between bud rims, no debris between tires. Number 32B. Rear axle. Not loose, missing, or damaged, no missing nuts or bolts. Fully greased, not leaking. Gasket seals in place. Splash guard and mud flaps. Not loose, missing, or damaged, mounted securely to frame with no missing nuts or bolts. The splash guards are no longer added, so just remember mud flaps. Trailer. 34A. The front of trailer is known as the header board. Is not loose, missing, or damaged, not missing rivets, strong enough to contain cargo, secure with no missing nuts or bolts. 34B. Side of trailer. Can be checked same as front of trailer. 35. Reflective tape on side of the trailer. Must be red and white tape. Not loose, missing, or damaged, clean, secure, and reflects light. Number 36. Reflector on side of trailer. Amber reflectors on front. not loose, missing, or damaged. Clean, secure, and reflect light. 37A. Floorboards. Not loose, missing, or damaged. No holes, not dry rotted, strong enough to contain cargo. 37B. Trailer, frame, and cross members. Can all be checked the same as the tractor frame. Can be done while checking the tractor frame. See number 17 on page 4. 38. Trailer, air, and electrical lines. To be checked the same as the lines on the back of the tractor. Please see number 26A and B on page 6. 39. Landing gear, crank handle, legs, and shoes. Mounted securely to the trailer frame with no missing nuts or bolts or broken welds. Support frame, not damaged, not loose, missing, or damaged. Legs not bent, fully raised, has clearance from roadway, fully greased, no debris on shoes, crank works in both speeds. You do not have to demonstrate. Handle is stowed securely. Number 40. Trailer, air brake system. Air brake chamber, chamber hose, push rod, slack adjuster, lining, drum, bracket, and couplings can all be checked the same as the back of the tractor. Please see number 20 on page 5. Trailer suspension, spring mount, leaf spring, U-bolts can all be checked the same as the rear of the tractor. Please see number 31 on page 7. No overload spring or airbag. Has torsion arm and torsion bar instead. Neither are loose, missing, or damaged, or cracked, bent, or broken. Your torsion arm and torsion bar are mounted securely with no missing nuts or bolts. Rubber bushings are not dry rotted. Trailer, tires, and rim. Number 42. Rim, bead, side, top, inside, outside of both tires, valve stem, lug nuts, axle seal can all be checked the same as the back of the tractor. Please see number 32A on page 7. Not bud rims, have a spacer instead. Not loose, missing, or damaged, no daylight in space, no debris. Number 43, mud flaps. Can be checked the same as the mud flaps on the tractor. Please see number 33 on page 8. Number 44, rear of trailer. Door, latch, hinges, red and white reflective tape. Not loose, missing, or damaged. The door opens and closes with no missing panels, not dry rotted, hinges not damaged. Handle and latch work in locked position. Red and white reflective tape is clean, secure, reflects light. Now we're going to go ahead and check the outside lights. Outside lights. You have your clearance lights and 3 ID lights on top of truck and trailer. Not loose, missing, or damaged. Amber in color, clean, secure, not cracked, and operates properly. Headlights, not loose, missing, or damaged, clean, clear color, secure, not cracked, and operating properly. Left signal light, front, not loose, missing, or damaged, amber in color, clean, secure, not cracked, operating properly. Rear, not loose, missing, or damaged, red in color, clean, secure, not cracked, and operating properly. Tail lights on tractor are not loose, missing, or damaged, red in color, clean, secure, not cracked, and operating properly. Side marker light on trailer, not loose, missing, or damaged, red in color, clean, secure, not cracked, and operating properly. Your 3 ID lights on rear of trailer, not loose, missing, or damaged, red in color, clean, secure, not cracked, and operating properly. Trailer tail lights and turn signal can be checked the same as the rear of the tractor lights. Please repeat for passenger side. Name and compare
on tractor
on front
and
rear
trailer.
Tractor.
Side
Rear
marker
trailer,
lights on trailer.
tail lights.
Emergency flashers turn on and checked that they are operating properly. Can be checked the same as the signal lights. Front, rear of truck and trailer. High beams. Ask for assistance checking high beams. Pull high beam switch several times with assistant at front of truck. Brake lights. Ask for assistance checking brake lights. Wait for assistance to signal. Release both handbrakes valves. Press brake pedal. Apply both handbrake valves after assistant checks lights. If you still have time remaining, walk back around the truck and trailer and check items you may have forgotten or skipped. Once you are confident everything has been checked, tell examiner you are now finished with your pre-trip inspection.
brother that's caught in the crossfire.